We want to get stuff done. We want to make life better for the American people. But I'm trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have? Republicans have repeatedly lectured America. They control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It's their government.
You know, when you first hear this, it's like, it sounds like, all right, we won, guys, we won. This should really sound kind of odd to you, but hey, maybe, again, it's just me always kind of looking into things a little too much. But no, I'm not going to apologize for that because I've been pretty much right. And, you know, God always, I feel like, shows me what I need to see. In the name of God, praise the Lord. But that just sounds weird, you know? It just sounds weird. But anyway, let's get into it. This is Anna going off on Democrats, you know, as she should. She loses her mind over these weak Democrats.
What leverage do we have?
The fearless opposition party, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. There's nothing we can do. What do you want us to do? I'm going to stand here as the House minority leader and complain about how we don't have any leverage when I could be messaging about how there's a robbery going on right now as we speak. The dismantling of the government agencies seeking to return money to Americans who are defrauded by the big banks. Can you maybe muster up enough energy to give a speech about that? How
she has every right to rant like this, you know, because it's like, where is the checks and balances? Because look, what she's talking about is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that's being gutted and being removed and saying, oh, well, because, you know, all these bureaus, there's too many, you know, agencies, let's get rid of them. And hey, I'm all for, you know, getting rid of a bunch of regulations. I'm totally for it, right? But a lot of these regulations are being removed for people who have their own interests at heart. And at the end of the day, sometimes you need a few agencies, you know? I don't believe in destroying it all. I believe in correcting, not destroying. And I'm not looking for Democrats to save me. I'm not looking for any human being to save me. But again, this sounds weird. By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos. Let's go.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. God, the Democrats are so pathetic. They're so pathetic because if you don't agree with what the Trump administration is up to, if you don't identify as a Republican, if you didn't want to vote for Donald Trump, what other option do you have? Okay? The party that tried to run a decomposing corpse, and then when he got caught, they anointed the Democratic nominee. The party that keeps telling you that there's nothing they can do, whether they're in power or out of power.
Yeah, I mean,
look, come on.
So, guys, you've literally heard me sometimes sing this line. There's nothing we could do. There's nothing we can do. That's the Democratic mantra. And that they say that when they get in power. They're like, oh, the filibuster, the parliamentarian, skittle-boo. You're like, that's not even a word.
I don't know what he's saying. I don't know. Like, I don't know. She was doing a better job. You know, Anna was doing a better job at explaining this. And, you know, a lot of times, too, Cenk gets on Anna's nerves. And right now, this would have got on my nerves. Like, what are you saying right now? Like, you know? But anyway, let's keep going with this report here.
There's nothing we could do. There's nothing we could do.
So pathetic.
And now that they're in the minority, here comes Hakeem Jeffries to sing the same song. There's nothing we could do. You know what? The American people believed you. You kept telling them that you can't do anything, so they voted you out of power because you can't do anything. Why don't you man up and grow a spine and a brain and actually figure out a strategy? That moron just said, well, and you know, the Republicans have the House and the Senate and the White House, and the Republicans' message to the American people. Wait, why don't you message to the American people? You're doing a press conference right there, schmuck. Why don't you get out your message? I didn't think about that. Look, I need you to understand, these Democratic leadership, mainstream media told you your whole life about how they're amazing people. They literally said when we were criticizing Barack Obama from the left, you don't understand, he's doing 4-dimensional chess.
Yeah, but you were for like taking down Libya and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's with NATO and all of that stuff. So, you know, like Cenk is really weird to me to even be that way. I'm going to go full I don't want to say racist, but biased. Maybe I don't know what the word is, but I just feel like I feel like as a I think he's Muslim, but he's Turk, right? He's from Turkey. You know what's really going on in the Middle East, and that's just really odd to me that you were like shouting out, like, you know, promoting the removal of Muammar Gaddafi, right? When you are a journalist, like a journalist would know, but even me, but at that time I was just, you know, a nurse, not paying much attention, and when I kept hearing Muammar Gaddafi, I was like, what does that have to do with me, and why should I care? Why are we taking down a dictator of another country? This has nothing to do with America. And this guy was all for it. So he's fake too.
He 4-dimensional chess to no change at all other than Obamacare, okay? He 4D chess all the way to a giant bank bailout that made the Democratic Party deeply unpopular and lost 1,000 seats. And here comes Hakeem Jeffries to go, there's nothing I can do. They're dumb.
They're
right, and they're incompetent.
Incompetent, feckless.
Total losers.
Yep, 100%. This is it. This is the opposition party. So look, his explanation for why Democrats can't deliver for Americans right now is that Republicans just never let them get anything done. Right? That's the role of your opposition party, Hakeem Jeffries. But isn't it amazing that when Republicans want something, they usually find a way to get what they want? Anyway, he doubled down later in the same press conference. Let's hear what the House Minority Leader has to say.
We've made clear from the beginning, there's a season to govern and a season to campaign. We are in the governing season. And so we're ready to work together on any issue. But I'm also confused about the leverage that we allegedly have in the face of such an overwhelming mandate that was given to Republicans by the American people, according to them.
Listen, no one is stupid enough to think that Democrats have a modicum of power right now. They don't. They have no power right now. We all understand that. But how about take a look at the behavior of Republicans when they are not in power? You want to know what they do? They don't shut up, okay? They're doing press conferences. They're doing congressional hearings. They're repetitive again and again. I mean, the Hillary Benghazi thing. Every single day, Hillary Benghazi, Hillary Benghazi, Hillary Benghazi. Democrats, though.
You see why Anna Kasparian is dumb? Like, I'm sorry, like, excuse me, wait a minute. You know, because the Hillary Benghazi thing, while I don't know the whole story about it, what I remember being told was that she basically, you know, betrayed our American soldiers. So, excuse me? Like, why is she all of a sudden, you see why nobody makes any sense to me? Like, you know, when it comes to these kind of things, the Hillary Benghazi thing, what are you talking? So you would be mad that the Secretary of State was doing something possibly treasonous and that people kept talking about it? I miss those kind of Republicans, because let me tell you something. I will say this. With the victory, the so-called victory of Donald Trump, and I do say so-called because there's just a lot hovering it that is not going to give us what I'm sorry, what we deserve as a country, the people. I'm sorry. Like, there's just too much around it. It just simply is. And you have MAGA that just says okay to everything that Trump says, whatever. And I love Trump. I do. But not in this way anyway. But then this is what she says, that you couldn't stop hearing about. These people don't take their job seriously. I have to look up Benghazi because I remember it being something very, very serious. And Hillary knew that, I believe that the soldiers or something needed help and she didn't get them the help. Drop a comment below, please let me know. But when it comes to American soldiers, I go out my way. I go off. That's the word. I go off. Because we've been using American soldiers like pawns on a chessboard for way too long. General Wesley Clark said that that's what these people would say back in the day, like, we have a good army, let's change out some governments.
Oh, they cower. And then they tell their own supporters, shut up. There's nothing we can do because we don't have enough power. And then what they'll say is, we need to have control of Congress. And then everyone will get out the vote. They'll organize, they'll canvass, they'll fight real hard to ensure Democrats have the majority in Congress in both the lower chamber, Senate. And guess what they do with that power? Nothing. That's what Biden had. And then it was excuse after excuse after excuse for why they can't get their own agenda accomplished, even when they had control of the executive branch and they had control of Congress. But don't worry, don't fret, because there's another Democratic leader who's gonna fight for us, and she's gonna explain how in this next clip.
My whole passion about being in politics is for the children. So what is it that we're doing for the children? I think that it would have been important for the children to not have Donald Trump be president of the United States. And that is...
I don't know how this lady is still talking, okay? Like, I really don't know. Like, but yeah, they keep voting for, like, why? She doesn't matter. And it's not just because she's old, by the way, because I like Ron Paul, but it's like, sis, like, what are you saying? Like, how are you still here? I mean, as far as like talking, not like alive. She could be alive.
I would take every step necessary to make sure that didn't happen, but it did. And now we have to deal with it. And in about 6 or 7 months, you're going to see such a change. By the time we start our campaigns in this fall, for next fall, you're going to see a very different picture about the Democrats vis-a-vis Donald Trump.
Retire. She's sitting there and talking about, like, don't worry, in 6 months, we might start fighting back. Like,
yeah, she does need to retire, but but at the same time too, Anna, it's like, just, I'm sorry, you don't do enough collecting of information for me, like fact checking and stuff like that. Like, you just really just don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's just been a lot of hating of America for so long that people don't pay attention to what's going on. It necessarily, people weren't sure if they should love our troops or hate our troops. I don't hate my troops. I don't hate our troops. I don't. They're used by the government. I'm sorry. I'm still on that. I am. Nancy Pelosi tells him Donald Trump. Look, all I'm going to say is this. 2028 is coming. And they need to get some new blood into these parties or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But everything is in doom and gloom, I always go back to that. Like, I serve a higher God, and we just have to be more aware. But this pullback of Democrats saying we don't have any power and this, that, and the third, and, it's the Republicans, this is odd to me. It's very odd. I'm not saying they have to fight all the time, but I've never seen this kind of, like, admitting of defeat. It's really weird. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.